Hello everybody, in this episode I'm gonna be creating a random password generator with HTML, CSS and JavaScript. So, how this will work? Essentially you will put the password length, for example 6, then we'll select what characters we want to include. Let's include uppercase. It will give me a password that is 6 characters long with uppercase characters. If we include lowercase, it's gonna make a mix of those. Let me put this to 10. Then include numbers. We are getting numbers in the password and include symbols. So yeah, this is a random password generator and let's get going. So here we are in our index.html document. Let's get going. So first, let's declare this as an HTML5 document. Then the HTML language will be English. And then let's create the head section. We'll use the charset of UTF-8. I'm gonna add the viewport. And content width will be device width and initial scale is gonna be 1.0. Then title is going to be a random password generator. Then I'm gonna link my style sheet in, so link relationship style sheet. The href is going to be style.css. Alright. Let's create the body section of the HTML document. So, in the bottom, I am going to link the index.js, the JavaScript, and then I'm gonna start creating the body. So first, we are going to need a div element with the class of container. Inside, I'm gonna be creating an h1 heading with the random password generator. There we go. Then I am going to make another div section inside of here, and that's going to have the class output. Inside of this section I'm gonna type in input. The type is going to be text. The ID will be password. It's gonna be read-only, so we can't type anything in. And the placeholder is gonna be your password. Okay, so we got the input label. Then we are going to need a button. So button ID will be copy and copy. Alright. After that, I'm going to exit this div section. And I'm gonna create another one right next to it with the class of controls. Inside I'm gonna create a label. This is gonna be for length and the password length. There we go. And I'm gonna be creating an input. The type will be number this time. ID, length, value is going to be 12 initially, and the minimum value will be 4 and the maximum value will be 20 characters. So yeah, there we go. Then inside of this I'm gonna be creating a div element with the class of controls, and inside I'm gonna create a label and input. So the label is going to say include uppercase characters. And the input is gonna be a checkbox. The ID is gonna be include uppercase. And originally we are going to be setting the checked property or attribute to be checked. Alright, then I'm gonna create a new line, label include lowercase characters. Alright, and input type checkbox ID is going to be include lowercase and checked. There we go. And then label include numbers. And then I'm gonna be typing input type is gonna be a checkbox. The ID is gonna be include numbers and checked. And then the last label, which is gonna be include symbols, and input type will be a checkbox. ID is gonna be include symbols and checked. So yeah, that's all the HTML. Actually no, we are going to need a button. So I'm gonna get out of this div element, and underneath I'm gonna create a button with the ID of generate. And it's gonna say create password. Okay, so we got all the HTML that we're gonna need. Then let's go on and start the styling of this. So I'm gonna use an asterisk to select all the elements. I'm gonna use the box sizing property of border box. Margin is gonna be 0, padding 0, and font family is gonna be Arial, Helvetica, and sans serif. Then I'm gonna take the body element. I'm gonna use a flexbox. I'm gonna justify content, center, and align items, center. Height will be 100 viewport heights, and the background color will be I'm gonna use HSL values. Let's make it slightly darker. That's good. Alright. Then I gotta style the container, this one. So I'm going to select dot container, and the background color is going to be white. The justify content will be center, align items will be center, height is gonna be whoa, no, not like this. Padding 20 pixels, and border radius is gonna be 10 pixels to smooth the corners. Let's add a box shadow, 2 pixels, 2 pixels, 10 pixels of blur, RGBA 0.75, and I'm gonna change this to an HSLA value. There we go. Alright. The width of the container is gonna be 300 pixels, and text align center. There we go. Then I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna select the H1 element. So here, and margin dash bottom is gonna be 20 pixels. So we add a little bit of space between this and this. So yeah. Then the font size will be 1.5 rem. Alright, starting to look better. Then I'm gonna take the output. It's going to be... Wait. This right over here. So, the output is gonna be using Flexbox. And I'm gonna justify the content with the space between property, align items, center, and margin dash bottom will be 20 pixels. There we go. Then I'm going to take the ID of password. This is gonna be having a width of 75% of this container. and the container is 300 pixels wide. So yep, that means that the width of this input element is going to be 225 pixels. So yeah. Alright, it's right over here. Then I'm gonna add some padding, 8 pixels maybe, and then a border of 1 pixel, solid black. Alright, I'm gonna make the border radius 10 pixels to smooth the corners, and this could actually be 2 pixels, there we go. And then I'm going to make the font size to be 14 pixels. Let's say 16. Alright. Then I'm gonna take the copy ID. And it's going to be right over here, the button. So yeah. The padding is going to be 8 pixels. The background color will be this, but I'm gonna be using HSL. And then I'm gonna add the border 2 pixels. Actually, border none. I wanna remove the border. Let's add a border radius 10 pixels. And font size 14 pixels. Let's make this 16 as well. And I'm gonna be using color white. Alright. Then I'm gonna take the copy and hover pseudo class. I'm gonna copy this line. And I'm gonna make it 10% slider. Yep, it's working. Also, I'm gonna add the cursor pointer over here. Alright, then I'm gonna copy this, and I'm gonna take the active pseudo class and make it even lighter. So now when I click, it flashes. Alright, wonderful. Then I'm gonna take the dot controls div section, controls, and I'm gonna add margin top of 10 pixels. Let's say 15. Alright. After that, I'm gonna take the label, or all the labels. They are gonna be displayed as block level elements. And the margin is gonna be 10 pixels on the top and bottom and 0 on the left and right. Then I'm going to select the checkboxes and the label. The display will be block and margin 5 pixels and 0. Alright. Then I'm gonna select the generate ID, which is gonna be right over here. This is gonna be the button. I wanna see if I made some mistake. Okay, so I gotta change one thing. This is gonna be margin top 15 pixels. I gotta remove these extra lines over here, so I'm gonna be putting the input, which is here, inside of this one. There we go. And I have a spelling error over there. After that, I'm gonna take this one and put it over here. There we go. this one, I'm gonna copy this text and remove this. And I'm gonna add it. Okay, include numbers, include lowercase characters. Okay, it's looking good so far. And then I'm gonna take this, I'm gonna add a label. Then I'm gonna remove that. And here I'm going to say include symbols. Alright, now it's looking a lot better. There we go. Now we can go back and do the rest of the CSS styling. So inside of the generate, I'm gonna add some padding of 10 pixels. So this is gonna be the create password button. Background color, that's gonna be this color, but I'm gonna use HSL values. 40%. Color will be white. Border will be none. Cursor is gonna be a pointer. Border radius 10 pixels. Margin top 10 pixels. There we go. And then I'm gonna use the generate ID, and when I hover over it, I'm gonna take this. Alright, and I'm gonna make it 10% lighter. And then I'm gonna copy this, take the active pseudo class and make it again 10% lighter. So now the button is going to flash like this one. Alright, let's go to the JavaScript. So we got a lot of elements to get from the DOM. So first, let's const password field equals document.getElementById. The ID is going to be password. Then I'm gonna take the copy button, and that's gonna be copy. I'm gonna take the generate button. I'm gonna select that with the ID generate. I'm gonna get the length field. This is gonna be length. Then I'm gonna take the include uppercase equals document get element by ID include uppercase, and then include numbers equals document get element by ID include numbers. And actually before I do that, I gotta take the const include lowercase equals document.get element by ID include lowercase characters. And last but not least, I'm gonna take the include symbols. I'm gonna name the constant as include symbols and make it equal to the ID of include symbols. There we go. Then I'm gonna make some more constants. So uppercase char codes equals. This is gonna be a string. I'm gonna go through the entire alphabets. There we go. Alright. Then I'm gonna make another constant, lowercase char codes. This is going to be the same, but with lowercase alphabets. There we go. Then I'm gonna make a constant of number char codes equals 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. semicolon, and const symbol char codes. So inside of this string, you can add any symbols that you want to use. I'm going to be using these. So there we go. Okay. And then let's create a function to generate password. So function generate password. We have the length parameter and the options. I'm gonna make a let character pool equal an empty string and let password equal an empty string. And if options dot uppercase is true, I'm gonna make the character pool contain this, which is uppercase char codes. And then if options dot lowercase, I'm gonna do the character pool plus equals lowercase char codes. If options dot numbers is selected, the character pool will plus equal the number char codes. And lastly but not least, if the options dot symbols is selected, I'm gonna make the character pool plus equals symbol char codes. There we go. Then I'm going to create an if statement. If the character pool is strictly equal to an empty string, I'm gonna create an alert. It's gonna say, please select at least one type of a character. There we go. And return empty string. Alright. Then I'm gonna create a for loop. So for let I equal 0, I is going to, as long as I is smaller than the length, we will increment that. And then I'm going to make a const random index equals mat.floor, and inside I'm going to be using the mat.random method times the character pool dot length. Alright, and the password plus equals the character pool and the random index. So there we go. And then I'm going to return password. Alright. Then we're gonna work on the generate button event listener. So let's go over here. I'm gonna take the generate button. I'm gonna add an event listener. We're gonna listen for a click. After that, I'm going to do an arrow function. So const length equals, we gotta parse the int. So length field dot value, and then the options. This is gonna be an object. So uppercase include uppercase dot checked. There we go. Lowercase include lowercase dot checked, and numbers include numbers. Take the checked property, and then symbols include symbols dot checked. Alright, I'm gonna add a semicolon over here, and then I'm gonna make const generated password equals the generate password function with the length parameter, which is going to be taking the value out of this field, and then the options. The options are these right over here, and this is the object for the options. Alright. Then semicolon, and I'm gonna make the password field's value equal to the generated password. There we go. So that's it for the button. Alright, then we still gotta do the copy button. So copy button dot add event listener, click. I'm gonna do an arrow function. So when we click the copy, do this. I'm gonna take the const password equals password field dot value. If the password is an empty string, we will alert. Please generate a random password before copying it. Alright. Then we will return. And after that, I'm gonna do password field dot select. There we go. And document dot execute command, and the command that we want to execute when we click the button is copy. There we go. And alert, password has been copied to your clipboard. And semicolon at the end. And that's it. A pretty easy project. And yeah, let's try it out. So here we go. So I'm gonna not select anything. So I wanna create password. That feature is actually not working for some reason. I'm gonna take a look. Okay, this is at least working. So if we try to copy before generating, it will say please generate a random password before copying it. So that works. But that doesn't. What am I missing? Okay, so now it's working. One of these wasn't made strictly equal to an empty string, so yeah, now it's working. So when I try to create a password, please select at least one character type. Please generate a password first. Alright, let's do it. I'm gonna make a password length 10. I'm gonna include uppercase. It's gonna give me a random password every single time. Include lowercase, numbers, symbols. So yeah, this is working. An easy to create password generator, and I can copy this password copied to clipboard and paste it. So there we go. This is an easy password project that you can do. And yeah, I hope you were able to learn something new in this episode. And yeah, this is actually a pretty useful program that you can create. So yeah, that's it for the HTML, CSS and JavaScript of this project. Alright, I hope you were able to learn something new in this one, and I hope I'm gonna see you in the next one. So yeah, bye bye everyone, and have a wonderful day, and happy learning everybody. See you later.